Hey Ken, it's March pass. We're gonna get a March pass. March is gonna pass us through with flying colors. We're gonna pass March with all the opportunities for test and testimony about all the things that challenges ask us to affirm about ourselves. Remember, when we do the etymology of challenge, we realize that that's what it's asking. So let's jump right in. I'm going to read to you the numerological focus for the pioneering spirit. Take your time though, go back through the older videos for January, for February. Go back through the feedback videos and as well, and see what resonates, what you agree with, what you disagree with, and engage me on it. Remember, I'm there for that. But if not, obviously engage yourself on it and engage me on it where we matter most in essential essence. All right, so let's go. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. Buckminster Fuller. Already I'm agreeing and disagreeing. This is good. Your old reality is ending, and your new one has not yet begun. What you do this month will set those wheels in motion. First, you must take care of the outstanding details which are keeping you tied to an old problem. You know you cannot continue in the same old way. You can sense that an old reality is ending and a new one is beginning. In order to ease the uncertainty or fear that threatens you to keep you at a standstill, look more closely and honestly at the circumstances that are tying you to the past. The closer you get to your limits, the more you will feel boxed in and compressed. But this is no time to give up. The 1 year is the time for great change, and it's worth remembering that meaningful change seldom occurs as comfortably as we would prefer. And remember, in the last session we spoke about the equation, the mathematics of love, for expression equaling, not equaling, but the ratio of expression, and then you have the, on the other side, plus or minus, repression, suppression, compression, and depression. All the different directional ways we ebb and flow, healthily and unhealthily, hurtfully or fulfillingly. So tune into that. Change. What have you observed about the way you compress, repress, suppress, depress your expression, and what keeps you in flow of expression? And self to self, doesn't matter what you actually say, everything is translated, everything is language and communication and communion where there is actual reception. So let's continue. The closer you get to your limits, the more you will feel boxed in and compressed, but this is no time to give up. The 1 year is a time of great change, and it's worth remembering that meaningful change seldom occurs as comfortably as we would prefer. I just read that again, so the reiteration is welcomed. The restrictive 1, 3, 4 vibrations of March in the 1 year of the pioneer, provide an opportunity to experience the positive power of your own will, which is now trying to reduce the pressure by pushing those limits away from you. Commit to yourself to hard work and be determined to exert as much effort as the situation requires. Concentrate. I love that. That's just a sentence by itself. Concentrate. Full stop. And listen to your body when it tells you that it's time to rest. And of course, even before that time, like we schedule it in, right? This month, mistakes can occur through inexperience mixed with a lack of focus. So stay alert and aware, and remember that a mistake is not a mistake if you learn something from it. Form a practical plan of action to protect your overall goals while honestly assessing whether your current course is any different from the one you have been traveling for the past 9 years or more. Be aware of how easily we deceive ourselves into thinking we are doing things differently, when in fact we have simply found a different way to do the same old thing. See yourself in a more positive light, simplify, and you will become more able to take care of your responsibilities. Observe the small details and where they fit into a larger picture. Clear your life of the material and emotional clutter you have amassed over a long period of time, and which is now preventing you from seeing beyond what you think are your limits. Listen to the chaos in your mind, all the different opinions and judgments that are battling for your attention. Then give your mind a rest by accepting your present situation exactly as it is. Only then will you be able to get your priorities in the right order. This month, your mind needs periods of complete relaxation as much as your body does. Face the facts. Oh, that's a sentence by itself. Face the facts. Period. Be practical. Period. Put everything in its place. Oh, that's a good one. Put everything in its place, and allowing things and parts of ourselves to know that they have place, and what we call in sacred dialogue SD mattering, allowing ourselves to take up space, being the energy that occupies space. Taking up space, very important. Where are we with that? Clear the decks, organize, sort it all out, detail by detail. Oof, let's go into that. I can't wait to go into that in our group. Then observe the walls of Then observe the walls of what were your limits. Then observe the walls of what were your limits once before, all around you. Move away from you. Let your expanded belief in yourself push these boundaries to a place where they can no longer pressure you. Yeah, so watch the walls as you thought they were closing in on you. Watch them expanding out now as you can see yourself to scale. Oof. Having cleared the strongest barriers of all, your own denials, you will know that if you judge something before you experience it, you have no way of knowing what the experience actually is or what it has to offer. You are on unfamiliar ground, but you must take the lead and initiate things you thought could only be done by others. Knock on new doors. Full stop. Look for ways to break free from your various dependencies. You do not need other people's approval. Let your feelings tell you what you really want and how to get it. Stop dithering and step forward. See where those first steps lead. Then, by the end of March, your new understandings will help you to construct a strong foundation on which to build a new reality that reflects who you are that. By your measure, by your opinion, by your description, who are you now, as opposed to the last moment you reflected upon that question, as opposed to a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, in our focus case, 9 years ago, and in our projected place, 13 years from now, and in real time, in this moment. How do you feel? What are you thinking? What is that making you decide? How do you feel about the decision that you have to take? Even if you're proud of it, it still takes everything that it takes, and it still gives everything that it gives. So I look forward to seeing you on the 3rd week of March. I think that's the 15th again. Send out the links as soon as possible. Well, not as soon as possible, the week of. And yeah. Oh, I wanted to say, I'm thinking of doing on one of my other pages, I'm thinking of doing a Secret Dialogue karaoke, where we basically dedicate a song from one member of the wheel to another member based on gratitude or difficulty that we've been experiencing with one dimension of ourselves or another. So it's like singing your favorite karaoke song, but from a different state of mind. Singing it with love, singing it with fear, singing it with gratitude, singing it with relief, singing it with apprehension. So yeah, I've been doing it for myself, and with this new focus that we're doing, I want to do I want to share some of my most personal Secret Dialogue knickknacks and paddywhacks tools, things that I do for fun and for crying and for feeling other deep dimensions and multi-dimensions of the lower ends and higher ends. And a big one is private karaoke, so I would like to share that with you guys. So yeah, let's talk about it. And what else? So if you're interested, let me know, and we'll have a karaoke night once a month. Maybe after the Saturday night sessions, we'll have a party. It'll go into a party, and we could do that on the private live page. And if you want to do it, and I think if you don't want to do it out loud and you want to do it all privately, then you need to make yourself a private Instagram page. So yeah, or we could do it in Zoom, but I want to do it in a private Instagram, because that way we can share it in the privacy of our space, in the private one. But tell me what you think, and I have some other games that we can play in between time. But yeah, I'm beginning to develop a strong momentum for side activities that keep us in addition to the meetings, especially because a lot of people don't get to come to the meetings who really, really want to. So I also wanted to ask that you share with me on Saturdays, based on the current month, what's the best time for you, because I have been trying to have consideration for those of us who have young kids still, considering bedtime, but maybe there's a time in the daytime when kids are still up and out that you can excuse yourself, that might be easier than nighttime after bedtime. So please give me that feedback and let me know as soon as you can. And yeah, and maybe as well, we can just do a short one to give the exercise, and then come back in an hour and a half to process. So me teaching the exercise is like 5 to 15 minutes maximum, and then we can come back and share after. So at least everybody, if there's an earlier time that works for everybody, that might be another way to do it. Obviously, I'm just saying I'm open to letting me know what works best for you, because what works best for us individually is what's going to make us more coherent when we meet up, and more supportive for those who watch the videos after the fact because they can never make it. Okay, I love you. Mwah.